What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the truth behind AJ Lee's WWE run. Is Chris Jericho returning to WWE with a new persona? WWE urged to bring a wrestler back? An injured star ready to return? A WWE star is forced to change her plans? AJ Styles claps back at a fan? A top AEW star never returning? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at the truth behind AJ Lee's WWE run. Now, top story today looks at the truth behind AJ Lee's WWE return and subsequent run, as it turns out that AJ may not be back full-time after all. When AJ returned last year, it was initially reported that AJ will be a full-time WWE talent. Now, the term full-time has changed its definition in recent years, but fans assumed that this meant that AJ would be in attendance at most TV tapings and working pretty much every single PLE. Well, since AJ returned, she's only worked a total of 2 matches, and her next appearance hasn't even been confirmed. Now, a new update on AJ's WWE status has been provided by the reputable site Fightful Select, and according to their Q&A series, AJ's run is definitely not going to be a full-time run. That's when AJ Lee came back and people reported, oh, she's back and it's full-time. I think back in December. I was like, well, hold on. That is not what's being said. That's not what's being relayed to me. Which doesn't mean that it's not true, but this was very clearly not going to be a full-time run. The report added that despite AJ's absence, she is expected to wrestle at WrestleMania 42, and this match is expected to be against Becky Lynch. She's done 2 matches since she came back in, what was it, September or something? And when it was hinted at me, oh well, she'll probably be facing Becky at Mania, and that's a probably, it's not worth reporting, but I was looking at it and I was like, well, how on earth are they going to stretch that out 7 months if she's full-time? Well, she's not full-time, that's why. Now, it may come as somewhat of a disappointment to fans that AJ isn't back full-time. However, it's worth noting that when she retired back in 2015, AJ had serious issues with her neck, so AJ rushing into work every single week may not have been the best idea. With that being said, with AJ reportedly being set for WrestleMania, we can surely expect a Royal Rumble appearance, and this will likely be used to set up a match versus Lynch on the grand stage of WrestleMania. Additionally, due to the intense hype that tomorrow night's Raw has received, we also can't rule out an AJ return tomorrow, especially with Lynch set to face Maxine Dupree for the Women's Intercontinental title. Next up, an injured star ready to return? Zoe Stark is signaling that her long-awaited comeback to in-ring competition may actually be closer than we thought. Starks has been out of action for over 6 months after sustaining a serious knee injury on May 19th's episode of Raw. During the Money in the Bank qualifying match against Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley, she suffered a torn ACL, MCL and meniscus, injury severe enough to force her exit from the bout and put her career on hold. Whilst we expected Stark to be out for most of 2026, it doesn't seem to be the case, as on social media she posted a photo of her in excellent physical shape, hinting that she's almost ready to return. Could she even make a return at tomorrow night's Raw? Next up, Mick Foley AEW-BOUND? Mick Foley caused headlines last month when he cut ties with WWE. The WWE legend cut ties with the promotion due to their association with Donald Trump, and one former WWE name has pitched the idea of the hardcore legend signing with AEW. According to Matt Hardy on his podcast, AEW should sign Foley, and Foley should act as the new general manager for Dynamite.
I mean, if I was booking AEW, I would put Mick in a commissioner role and have him go out and just be entertaining as shit. I would put him as like a commissioner or like an authority figure in some way. But, just much like he did that time when he came up with tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh, my. Just have him go out and entertain people. I mean, he's a legend. He's respected. You're not going to see him in the ring. So I think the AEW fans would accept it and just try and get some entertainment value out of him in that way.
Foley has a ton of established experience in this kind of role. He's worked as an on-air authority figure numerous times during his career, but the question is, does AEW want to introduce this kind of presence on screen? Since the company's inception, Tony Khan has been the figurehead, and they haven't had any on-screen GM or commissioner since. This would be a bold step for the company to take, but it may be an easy and quick way to freshen up the AEW television product. Whatever the case, it would definitely be a sensible hire for AEW. Foley is a beloved name, and having such a seasoned, well-established name under contract isn't exactly going to do the company any harm. Next up, a WWE star ditches his gimmick and forces a change of plans. And now that Matt Cardona is back in WWE, fans have been wondering whether the former US champion would ditch his indie god gimmick, and we now have an answer. Well, it turns out that Cardona won't be committing to his independent dates, and one of the titles he owns, that being the AEW World title, will be now forfeited. But not only that, he's also the champion of JCW, and head of creative of JCW Vince Russo mentioned on Twitter that there has to be numerous rewrites to accompany the change. Now, it's rare for WWE to allow signed talent to complete indie appearances, especially when they run across a weekend. And with SmackDown airing live on Friday nights, this will make the commitments difficult to complete. Now, it's unclear what gimmick Cardona is going to be using on the main roster, but based on his presentation on this week's broadcast, it appears to be a mix between his prior Zack Ryder persona and his more serious, legitimate character than he portrayed on the indie scene. Next up, John Cena puts over a new WWE signing. The WWE legend John Cena may now be officially retired, but that hasn't stopped him from putting over WWE talent. Cena took to X yesterday to congratulate his longtime friend Matt Cardona on his WWE return. Persistence and preparation tend to help manufacture luck. I couldn't be more proud of both Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, as they stand as a tremendous example of making luck through effort. Welcome home, Matt. It's no secret that Cena and Cardona are both personal friends, and it wouldn't be a surprise if Cena had a hand in Cardona re-signing with WWE. Next up, WWE is urged to bring back this wrestler. Following Matt Cardona's grand return to WWE, attention has been drawn to Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler is a name that returned to WWE last year for a one-off appearance, and to say that fans were happy to see him would be an understatement. His WWE return was also said to be received extremely well backstage, and due to Ziggler already being beloved by the WWE locker room, it isn't exactly shocking. This weekend, one of the trending topics on social media has been the former world champion, with countless fans urging WWE to bring Ziggler back into the mix. Right now, it's unclear if Ziggler is even interested in another run in the company, as he seems happy pursuing other projects and working in TNA, but this will be a re-signing that would elevate the SmackDown brand. SmackDown is now a 3-hour presentation, and they need talent that fans know and appreciate. The situation with SmackDown is being compared to that of 2016. When the modern-day brand split occurred, WWE were forced to rehire a bunch of names for SmackDown, and we look to be facing a similar situation here. WWE has already brought back Cardona, called up names such as Jordan Grace and Trick Williams, but there is still room for more wrestlers on the roster. WWE needs to remember that they can't take all the top stars from NXT, as that show still needs star power, so re-signing prior names that fans actually want to see is probably the way to go. Next up, AJ Styles claps back at a fan. AJ Styles is a name that is known to keep his cool, however this weekend, a fan comment on X forced AJ's hand. The fan would criticize AJ for not finishing his career in AEW, and the fan stated that AJ just wanted the WWE money. Styles would then respond to the nonsensical claim by stating, "I'll take dumbest things to have ever been said for 100 Alex." AJ has been stating that he would finish his career in WWE for a number of years now, and fans should simply respect his decision. Next up is Chris Jericho returning with a new persona. Chris Jericho's WWE return is imminent, and it remains to be seen what persona Jericho is going to bring back to WWE. According to former WWE employee Jonathan Coachman on X, Jericho isn't planned for tomorrow night's Raw. He's scheduled to return at the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and he'll be presented with a brand new persona. Okay, I'm going to try this reported thing. Jericho will not be at Raw on Monday. He's scheduled to make his return at the Rumble with a whole new look and character. He'll be a special attraction similar to how they use Roman and Brock, only he'll be more visible in an on-air role due to his ability to cut promos and sway the audience. My sources have told me that Jericho looks to be in the best shape he's been in years. He does have a Fozzy stint already booked between the Rumble and Chamber, but is scheduled to be a big part of the Chamber plans. Jericho is still heavily rumored to return to TV tomorrow night on Raw, but of course plans could change, and Coach's report could be correct. Now, the first ever undisputed champion returning to WWE with a new character would certainly be bold. Due to this apparently being Jericho's final run in pro wrestling, it would make sense if Jericho used one of his popular characters, but Coachman's report suggests otherwise. Jericho is a king of innovation. He's always stated that he doesn't like to do the same gimmick for too long, as it gets stale, and it's important to keep the audience on their toes. If Jericho does return to WWE with a brand new gimmick, then it's possible that he is responsible for that valiant creative choice. And finally, a top AEW star never returning? Our final story today looks at the AEW future of Britt Baker, as a new report has signaled that she may never return to AEW programming. Baker has been off AEW television for some time now, and this comes despite her being perfectly healthy and fit. According to Fightful Select, it's unlikely that fans ever see her back in AEW. At this point, I don't think we're ever going to see her back. Her deal goes well into 2026, but it's been over a year. And at least the last time I spoke with her, she indicated that she was healthy, and that's been like ages and ages ago. I've heard no discussions regarding her in a long time outside of when we asked on media calls. I don't think it's gonna happen. Baker is a name that has often been rumored for a run in WWE, but if she remains under AEW contract, this can't happen anytime soon. It's not exactly clear why AEW are outright refusing to use the former women's champion, as it would make more sense to release her and allow her to pursue other opportunities. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.